The Final Destination series isn't a hard thing to talk about. Everyone knows these movies, not everyone has seen these movies, but mainstream audiences know, oh, that's the horror franchise where people die in Rube Goldberg-esque ways. And that's correct. The story of these movies usually goes that a group of people escape death from some kind of freak accident, and then they all just kind of end up dying one by one anyway. Very simple concept. Once you watch any of these movies, you'll be paranoid for a while. You always feel like death is around the corner. Anything you look at, just like, okay, that's gonna fall over on the ground. I'm gonna slip on it. I'm gonna crack my head open. Same thing happens when I watch too much Curb Your Enthusiasm. I start to feel like Larry David in situations. I'm right. I may be an asshole, but I'm right. What Jaws did to the beach, Final Destination does to planes, cars, roller coasters, cars again, and bridges. In turn, cars a third time. Yeah, 3 out of 5 of these movies will make you paranoid behind the wheel. The new one, I guess, don't go to the Space Needle. I don't want to go over all these movies in great detail, but I do want to talk about them all. What I like, what I don't. These are all very entertaining movies, even if for different reasons. The first Final Destination, for its time, was different. Every teen horror slasher was trying to be the next Scream, or I Know What You Did Last Summer. How about a horror where there really is no killer? Or there is a killer, but that killer is just death itself. Let's put these teens in situations where they Rube Goldberg themselves into death, and the money flows in. No wonder this got 4 sequels in 11 years. But this first one was still trying to have a story and characters you actually care about, and in my opinion, that kind of holds it back. We don't give a shit about these characters, we just want to see people die. The beginning of the first movie is great. We meet Alex Browning. That is the only protagonist name of this franchise that I remember. Alex doesn't really have a defining trait, other than that he's nervous about his class trip to Paris. His parents say very normal things to him, like, you got your whole life ahead of you. You definitely won't die in a plane crash. And then we don't really see them again for the rest of the movie. Like, they're there, but they're hardly in the movie. Yeah, let's not comfort our son after his entire class died in a plane crash. He's fine. He's probably fine. He's having a good summer. So we're at the airport, we meet some supporting characters, and we get to the first premonition about 15 minutes into the movie. Plane gets shaky, partially explodes, fully explodes. Oh, but it was a dream! Alex reasonably starts freaking the fuck out. For some reason, it makes this dude want to start physically fighting him. Like, okay, you're on a plane, dude, chill. So the main cast gets kicked off the plane, and just like the premonition, the plane explodes. Every one of these movies needs to have a sad gap between the exciting incident and the deaths that happen later. It's like a 10-minute blah gap. I didn't come here to see people mourn, I came here to see people get killed. This is a horror movie, goddammit. I'm not going to talk about every single kill, but the very first of the entire franchise is a little odd, and it's with the character of Todd. Todd has an odd kill. Haha. So this water leaks out onto the bathroom floor, causing him to slip in the shower and get strangled by wire in there. Whatever. But once he's dead, Death just slurps it back up, like nothing happened. This never happens again. Death does not clean up its own mess in any other part in these movies. It's just this very first kill. Why even show that? Why even show the water going back in? Anyway, after Todd's death, we get to meet Tony Todd, who might be Death. But also not, but also probably. Tony Todd is in most of these movies. The only one he's not in is the fourth. He has a small voice cameo in the third movie, but he's fully in the second and the fifth, and this one. He plays the same character every time. It's a mysterious coroner who acts creepy for really no reason other than to fuck with these people. He also explains what the rules are to whatever characters talk to him, so he's really just like the script pusher, like, hey, you're not gonna figure this shit out on your own. Listen here, buddy. They cheated Death, now Death comes for them. Maybe he's Death, maybe he's not. I don't even think the writers of these movies know. He probably is, but also maybe not.
I don't make the rules.
So the two main characters talk to each other about how they probably should have died, but they didn't. Most conversations in this entire franchise are about how the characters probably should have died, but they didn't. Alex begins to figure out, hey, wait a second. I think there's a pattern here, because there is. And everyone who got off the plane happens to be in town square by pure coincidence. One of them denies Alex's theories before getting hit by a bus. Man, the traffic fucking sucks in Vancouver. Alex realizes the next person is going to be the teacher lady. Instead of telling her over the phone or knocking on her door, he believes he should just stand outside her home like a total creep. Way to go, Alex. Your absent parents raised you right. He reasonably gets taken in for questioning. He tells the investigators about the patterns, and for some reason that works to let him go. And as he predicted, shit hit the fan. Now, the stupidest thing Alex does in this movie is run back to this lady's house, see she's been stabbed with a knife that fell on her. He proceeds to pick up the knife and set it down. What are you doing, bro? So he realizes it's too late. He should get the fuck out of there. Seann William Scott rolls in, and he wants to make this a stoner comedy. It kind of worked. Alex reasonably goes into hiding for a little bit after this because he's fully incriminated himself by picking up that knife. Like, you deserve to be blamed if you're going to be that stupid. Even if the knife got blown up, he was still seen running away without question. Not that you can really explain what happened, but tell Seann William Scott what happened at the very least. Now it just fully looks like he's killing everybody. That'd be a weird twist. It wouldn't make any sense, but it would be interesting. It was actually Alex who slurped up all that water. It was actually Alex who was driving that bus. Haha, you didn't know that. The rest of the survivors eventually find Alex. He's chilling by the crash site, and all the remaining survivors are now in the car. They decide that Alex will go to this girl's dad's cabin to hide out from the feds, and all these people start telling him about how much they hate him for saving their lives. You don't get it. I wanted to die in a plane explosion. You ruined that chance for me. So this guy starts getting a big ego and starts driving recklessly because we gotta have a power trip scene. It's a Final Destination movie. I'm in control of my own destiny.
Right? I decide when it's time. I control my life. I control my death.
But why be this reckless knowing the circumstances? Do you still just believe all these deaths are a coincidence? I guess so, considering he parks the car on the train tracks and sits in it like an arrogant asshole. Oh, but he was just fucking with them. What a jokester. Oh, now a train is coming. Oh, now the car won't start. Why'd you turn the car off? Oh, now your doors are locked. Oh, now the seatbelt is jammed. Almost like Alex was right or something. Suspense happens, Alex gets him out at the last second, and Seann William Scott is still upset that this isn't a stoner comedy. Dude, where's my head? So Alex does end up in that cabin to hide from death, and it's working to a degree. He's next on the list, so he has to be really safe and really careful. He's not dying, but he's not really living either. Basically, he's just going insane.
You tried to capitalize, but I caught you. You fuck. I could beat you. Yeah, maybe not forever. But I got this cabin rigged to beat you now.
The feds are watching out for the girl because they're fully convinced Alex is the killer. Meanwhile, Alex figures out he's actually not next on Death's list. It's almost like Death was waiting for him to figure it out because it isn't until this moment when it starts fucking with the girl. So Alex is trying to get to her house as quickly as he can. Meanwhile, the feds are right on his tail. And I really like the sequence where this girl is trying to get to safety. I mean, this is the finale, so they're really going all out with the wind, electricity, fire. Eventually, Alex gets to her with just a few moments to spare and is like, I have to kill myself.
It's the only way we can cheat death again.
He's not moving. He's not breathing. He's probably dead, right? 6 months later. An interesting time to skip to, but okay. The three main cast members are in Paris. Why is he with them? He was an asshole the whole time and he just got his car destroyed. What job does this recent high school graduate have to go to Paris? What happened to the FBI agents? Did they stop caring or was the case dropped? They saw he died and they're like, yeah, no, this is enough punishment even if he did commit those murders. They discuss at a table in Paris what every conversation in this movie is about, death and its design. Hey guys, I know we came to Paris to have fun, but let me pull out my diagram again and we could talk about it. You're just asking for something to happen. They decide, no, this was part of the plan all along. We were meant to live. Bull fucking shit. Whenever they discuss it or realize something weird, shit starts happening. So just don't discuss it. But no, Alex said too much. Small things happen and domino into this giant sign almost killing Alex. But the other guy saves him at the last moment. So it skipped Alex. Wait, who's next again? Oh. I like this ending. It's dumb, but it fits the tone of the movie. First Final Destination, best Final Destination in my opinion. It works the most as a movie. Like, I go to the theater in 2000, this is fine. I have no expectation. I could see why it got 5 movies made after. I do wonder what Alex and the girl did after the screen cut to black. Like, they got on a plane out of Paris just fine, lived back home in the remote cabin for a while. Oh, no, Alex died sometime between the first and second movie. That was a waste of time. I'm not going to talk about any of the sequels with that amount of detail, because every single Final Destination movie goes exactly that way. Premonition happens, people start dying, the main character slowly realizes something strange is happening and there's a pattern. They try to stop it, everyone dies anyway, nothing ever happens. They'll throw in a twist here and there, like, oh, if we make sure this woman gives birth to life that wasn't accounted for in Death's design, then it'll break the chain and we'll all live. And that doesn't matter because they die anyway. Or, oh, if you kill someone, you get their life in return. And that doesn't matter because they die anyway. Final Destination 2 is just a little boring and the same thing over again. You got Clear Rivers coming back. That was her name. I wasn't going to say Clear over and over because it's a stupid name. She's helping the Premonition have her after Alex died between movies. And she dies anyway, so it doesn't matter. Nothing happens. 2 is fine. I still like 2, but it's the least entertaining of the series. There's a whole lot going on, and it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for a Final Destination movie. It's like the deaths are in reverse order this time, because death is fixing its mistakes, because none of the characters in this movie would be where they were if the events in the first movie didn't happen. They were still finding their footing with what they wanted this franchise to be, and I think they found it with 3. 3 feels like the cast of a teen slasher wandered into a Final Destination movie. It's the same formula again, but this one has the strongest characters and acting, in my opinion. Mary Elizabeth Winstead as the final girl helps this a lot. She's delivering the perfect amount of energy for this character. And the male protagonist is played by the guy from Luck of the Irish and Smart House, so obviously I don't want him to die. There's also this guy who looks and sounds like Dennis from It's Always Sunny.
Oh my God, guys, what's going on? What's going on? That's crazy. That's crazy.
Because of the implication.
I don't want any of these people to die, but this movie's got a roller coaster. The ending's kind of a bummer. We just watch these teens escape death and they're happy, they're fine, they're living their lives. Oh no. Oh no. And this is the first time the lead protagonist doesn't make it to the end of the movie. Which is something I like about this franchise, there's really no expectations. But still, movie's got a subway. The ending credit song also sucks ass. For the most part, the first 3 movies have been the same cinematically. The tone is consistent, there's some dark humor here and there. Mainly they take themselves kind of serious. 4 takes a look at this, says fuck you, and just becomes a cartoon. Lazy writing? No, this was all intentional. They don't waste your time with character development. We have everything we need to know about these characters, like Brent. He's a Chad who has sex with women. He's like that Wojak brought to life. And our main guy is just... he's probably the most shallow protagonist of this whole series, and that's saying something. I develop either of the female leads if they're just going to be with us throughout the entire movie. I love seeing shallow one-dimensional characters be our main characters, but Brent had to go? He was an asshole and his only trait was wanting to have sex, but that was more character than anyone else in this movie. Racist guy is racist. MILF mom is MILF. McKelty Williamson's character at least has a flaw. The movie's as subtle as possible about it, but it's the most character this movie has. A character overcoming struggles in a Final Destination movie? I don't think so. I'm bitching a lot about characters, but this movie knows what people want. And it's not characters. 11 minutes in, we're already past the inciting incident. 20 minutes in, and we get the most comical death of the series. Racist guy was gonna burn a cross in the yard of the security guard who was at the racetrack, and death blows its breeze to fuck things up and drag the racist guy down the street blasting music before it just all blows up. It's great. But they kind of blew their load too early. You don't want like big explosion action in the first third of your movie. The next 2 kills would be cool if we were kind of starting slower, but we didn't. We started with a big explosion. Rock in the eye. Stab through a fence. It's just underwhelming. Brent doesn't give a fuck though. He's a Chad.
I'm gonna go get laid.
And by that he meant bottom with a pool drain. This is horrifying. I underestimate the power of a pool drain system. Maybe it could do something like this. Probably not suck your guts out, but maybe hold you down there until you drown. Ugh. Okay, so Brent's gone. Nothing matters now. I think I'm giving this movie too much credit. It's entertaining in its kills, but it's also a bad horror movie. Poorly written characters, bad dialogue, bad prop design, something I don't see often, but they have these barrels on a construction site saying spontaneously combustible, meaning they can blow up at any moment. I want to think this is leaning into the absurd nature of the series, But that's what I mean when I say I think I'm giving this movie too much credit. I honestly can't say if this is intentional. I like 4 in this sense because it's a bad horror movie, and I like bad horror movies, but it's also still a Final Destination movie, so it's a win-win. I do like that the finale has a premonition play out again before anything actually happens. I mean, nothing actually happens. The security guard dies, and the main guy almost dies, but saves himself and everyone else from the spontaneously combustible barrels, and he lives. So do the 2 lead girls, and they live on beyond the end of this film. If you believe that, you've learned nothing. Of course they die at the end of this movie. Why wouldn't they die? It's a Final Destination movie where nothing ever happens. The biggest nothing ever happens to happen is in 5, where there was so much potential. The trailer makes it seem like the factor of killing someone else to gain their remaining life is going to be a big thing.
You're not supposed to be here, so let death have somebody else in your place.
But it isn't. As I've said before, it's underwhelming.
Did you? No, I didn't.
The characters here are bland. I like that it's coworkers and not just school friends. First and third movie followed high schoolers. Second and fourth movie were just kind of a mixed bag of people. This, it's an office group. They're going away for a retreat, and we got a bridge collapse. And again, this one blows its load too early by giving us stuff like the acupuncture thing, followed by their laser eye one, which is the only death scene I can't bring myself to watch. Man getting his guts sucked out by a pool drain? That's fine. Eye stuff? Ew! The twist here is like genuinely good, too. The male and female lead both have full lives to live because that taking life element. For the girlfriend, she was never meant to die at all, so death hasn't been after her. The Tom Cruise looking guy shows up wanting to kill her, but ends up killing the detective looking into the case. But then the main male protagonist killed the Tom Cruise guy, so he got the detective's lifespan. This happens in the span of 3 minutes, so it's a little hard to follow, but also it doesn't matter because the main character and his girlfriend are on their way to Paris. Paris, you say? Wait a second, weren't those kids in the first movie going to Paris? You know, where Alex got his premonition and started freaking. Oh. It wouldn't be a Final Destination movie if these two made it happily to Paris. We knew something was going to happen, and damn, this is good. And this movie does a really good job not alluding to the year that it takes place in. It makes this reveal so much more unexpected. This guy's premonition was before Alex Browning's premonition. How far does this go back? Surely this dweeb wasn't the first guy to see the future. And what is a premonition? Is it a force of good trying to warn someone about their doom so they have a chance to escape it? Is it a flaw? A leak? These people clearly aren't supposed to see this, so why do they? Maybe Death is just bored and wants an excuse to fuck with people. Like,
oh gee, that plane is gonna crash. It would be slightly entertaining to give this high schooler a vision about it to see what happens.
seriously, what is the point? This franchise also treats 180 as if it's significant in any way. You have the number 180 popping up everywhere. It doesn't make any sense. It's not significant. It was the flight number in the first movie, but the fifth movie takes place before the first movie. And in the fifth movie, it's on the restaurant that the main character works at. So the whole time, 180 actually had to do with a restaurant name, not an airplane. What a fucking twist. These movies also have parts where the characters in them, they're just like, we can't die. It's not letting us die, because it's not our turn yet. They could try a gun, they could try hanging themselves. It doesn't work. Why not try throwing yourself from a building, just to see what would happen? I'm just spitballing here. If I was in this exact situation and I was trying to kill myself, I'd try jumping from a building. It would fuck up Death's design again, in an even worse way. It looks like the new movie will explain some of the lore behind this, but I doubt we'll be getting the answer as to why these people see visions into the future. It's just because. These 5 movies didn't need to explain further, because again, it doesn't matter and nothing ever happens.